Hello everybody and welcome to today's somewhat documentary. And today is a special video, a first of its kind. All there is to offer our spiritual successor, since that series is, literally not even dead. Bones in a coffin. That's been thrown down a ditch. So, you may be wondering, what is this series going to be called? Well, if it does turn out to be a series, Stations of Stepford. Yes, it's finally here. You heard me right. So, if you want to know if there's going to be more, make sure to like and subscribe. And this is my sort of entry to the Java editing thing contest. Honestly, been a Java fan for ages, and when I heard that, I was just like, yeah, I'll go for it. Video idea that I wanted to do, and here it is. So let's get in to the meat. So, Willowfield was originally opened a very long time ago. Well, the branch in the 1890s. This station being 1896, or this part of it being 1896, but this part is fairly new. So let's go into the story of Willowfield. Beachley here was opened in 1910, a lot later than the rest, because of City Hospital, or then called Beachley. So the station was just called West Beachley, really, which, yeah. But the City Hospital was renamed to City Hospital in the 60s, which is a story for another time, or possibly the second episode. So the thing is with this, is that there was no Hendon Park, only Hendon. A small village near Willowfield, roughly a 10-minute drive away. Very isolated, a few bus routes, which is a half an hour drive from Willowfield to Stepford outskirts itself. And that's about that. The original Hendon was opened the same time that this branch was. And the station is pretty far away from the modern day Hendon itself. Now, Hendon Park didn't open till a long time after that, and the stadium also a long time after. But Hendon Station opened in 1896, as already said, and was a part of this Willowfield line, but it was originally opened as a two-platform station until a new line was extended direct to Whitefield. It was called the Willow White branch, and as you can see on the map now, it ran between Whitefield and Willowfield, which are actually pretty much on the same south to north level. So if you draw a straight line from where Hendon Station was, you run into the tracks. You'd run into the tracks at Whitefield. Anyway, on this walk, we come to our first landmark, which isn't really that much of a landmark. So if I take this map off, this is, ta-da! A bridge on Willowfield, and if I get the camera up high enough, it's just practically the small town of Willowfield, and it's a good place to try and spot with depots and IKEA all the way in the distance there. You can just barely see it, and the beautiful rolling hills in the distance. And on that side, you can see a train, nice train by the way, and Hendon, which is our next stop. So, back to the map. Hendon became a junction station which had 4 platforms in case some services were just going direct from Whitefield to Willowfield, or from Willowfield to wherever else, not stopping on the curvy tracks. The station somewhat had the same layout as the modern day Water Newton, but didn't have all that urbanization, or a ditch, or a large station building. It was a small cottage station arriving at Hendon. This village is practically in the middle of nowhere. I feel like it has a lot of space for housing. That's just not even a park. It's just grass. And it's weird. Like, honestly, with the British housing crisis, you could fill a lot more houses here. So, here's the urbanised part of Hendon, which is just a few houses with a driveway. Here is the high street. And yet again, another Pizza by Billy is opening here. They're putting them everywhere, from small little villages to everywhere. Like, everywhere. Honestly, Pizza by Billy. Billy does make good pizza. So here we are at this sort of, like, alleyway. It's a good cut through for any tourist. It doesn't look like here that it ends over there. It's quite creepy, but trust me, it's good. They also have some building shops. Just your average stuff, really. Down here is a few little houses, and that's practically it. This place is just a barren wasteland for most of what it comes to. Although there are a few things you should note. Here is this bridge. It goes up. Although it shouldn't be a bridge, considering there's no track underneath. But, ta-da! And it could clearly fit 2 or even 3 tracks. As you can see, there's a sort of forest in the distance, just covering the tracks, just due to noise pollution, especially since then it was just steam trains. Sadly, the beaching cuts. They decided to cut this line because, to be honest, with the car revolution, nobody was using this, and because of this being such a rural area, nobody was even using the station at Hendon, which, even at rush hour, had about 5 passengers, all of which were local, and this area is quite run down, to be honest. And even with modern day transport for Stepford, there's been no plans to open it, because why would there be? Because, I mean, Whitefield is growing forever, but there's no traffic between Whitefield and Willowfield that isn't road traffic. And even if there is, you can just hop on a train through the city centre. It only cuts off about 10 minutes. Which, in 10 minutes, it could be a lot, but is it? For the most beef of this video, here's Hendon Park. It's a small station, just your average things. Connect Blue Benches, Hendon Park Rangers. As you can see, the sign is really the home. This station opened in the late 80s after the stadium was opened, and this place is really weird. It's like a hamlet. Honestly, the only reason this station even exists is because it was completely funded and built by the Hendon Park Rangers. And they have this weird building. I mean, I don't think it's intentional, but if you look, it says bruh. Just the initials, which is quite funny. And this is just some weird area. And I don't know why any of these buildings are really here, and it doesn't make any sense. And over there is the head offices for the Hendon Park Rangers, and that's pretty much it to the station. Oh, also there's a really nice fountain there with lots of money in. And one more kind of loophole. I love how there's ticket machines and barriers in here, but you could sneak, but because of ticket checks, you could probably sneak on a train all the way to City Hospital, because you can just, look at this. Or you could even possibly sneak on a train all the way to Stepford, Victoria, because they didn't add any barriers here, which is actually probably costing them a lot of money, so they should add barriers there. But nobody even uses this station anyway. Even at a football match, most football matches are held at the opposing teams, and the stadium's not even in the Premier League. So when it does have an occasional match, it's mostly held at the SUFC, which is definitely catered to traffic. So this station practically has no purpose, and most services skip it. And to be honest, they should have put a station somewhere else, like this. Honestly. So that's all. So I would say that's it, because we're running low on time here, but it's the entire willowfield line. I gotta do the last station, which is Beachley. So in the distance there, you can see some flats, which is like the outskirts of Stepford. Beachley is famed for actually nothing. The station has only one boring, depressing entrance, which is this one. It's quite modern, but the station opened a while ago. This is just refurbished. The station has accessibility, so that's good. And it has 4 platforms for a station that doesn't get much traffic. Before the Beachley Act, both of these tracks went further on, as you can see, because there's clearly space for it, but not anymore, because, yeah. And the willowfield line is one of those lines that just doesn't get any traffic. There's only a few purposes for these stations. A lot more stations have more than 2. Hendon Park barely scratches 1. Original Hendon should have been closed. And more so, do you think that Hendon Park should be closed in favour of normal Hendon? Or do you think they can both coexist? Comment down below your opinions. And I'd go on to City Hospital, but there's no time for that. But one more thing, it's really annoying if you live on the other side of this bridge, because there's a lot of urbanisation there, especially in that area over there, but for some reason there's just no entrance on this side, which is kind of annoying. And I can also see it because there's space cramps, but it makes sense. Financial Quarter has 2 entrances on both sides. So that'll be it for today's video. Make sure to go and comment, and we're going to end this with a beautiful view of the city in the distance.